Welcome, everyone. On this week's Girl Camper podcast, we are here in the Russian River Valley of California, just wrapping up Campery 2024. And I'm really excited to have on this week's podcast Coach C, who's going to talk to us about everything being an RV tech. So stay tuned. I'm Lesa with Girl Camper, and today I am really excited to be talking to Carol Mitchell, who is an RV tech. And I just got done listening to her presentation here at Campery. Oh my God, not only was she knowledgeable and I learned a lot, she's funny. Oh my God, who knew a tech person can be as funny as she is? If you get a chance to come to any of the California events where Coach C is going to be at, I highly encourage you to do that. You will not regret it. So welcome.
Thank you, Lesa.
Thanks. So first of all, tell me about yourself.
I'm Coach Carol, known as Coach C, and I was an athletic coach for most of my life. And then when I stumbled into this business, coaches seemed to still work. So I kept the name Coach C. So a longtime educator, like I said, a coach. I'm actually in the healthcare technology industry, and I'm an RV tech inspector and educator.
Very cool. Very cool. So what made you want to become an RV tech?
It was accidental. So I've been a camper my whole life, from tents to pop-ups to motor coaches, etc. And frankly, I stumbled across an ad on Facebook.
Really?
And it was about the online home course.
Okay.
And then I'm curious, so I followed the trail, ended up on the primary page for the academy and signed up. And it just kind of happened that way.
And so tell us about that. Tell us about your experience in going through which academy did you go to? Because there are several out there. There's several different ways to become an RV tech. But I believe we call it the Little Red Schoolhouse down in Texas, but that's not the official name. But tell us about that experience.
It's actually on my shirt today, the RV Training Academy. It's in Texas, and I'm in California. Mm-hmm. So decided to take the trek out to Texas. Actually, it was during COVID. So before the industry went crazy, and took the inspection class. And as part of the training there, which is phenomenal training, you can also do a tech track. And by the end of graduation, you can be an inspector and a tech.
Okay. So what's the difference, I guess, between an inspector and a tech?
Sure. So, and they actually have two tech tracks. One's certified tech and one's registered.
Okay.
So from an inspector standpoint, it's like a home inspection. So pre-purchase inspection. So before you purchase a trailer, an RV, then you would engage one of us inspectors to do a full shakeout of that rig before you purchase it. If you're purchasing it from a dealership, it can help you negotiate. And if you're purchasing it from a private sale, it's also a negotiation. But it helps you determine whether you want to ride away as that dream rig or walk away from that rig.
Yeah, yeah. I actually utilized an inspector down in Texas. I was purchasing an R-Pod that the owners had been very upfront. They had lived in it for 2 or 3 years, and they were quite hefty people. So there was a lot of wear and tear in the flooring and stuff. And but they had been honest about a lot of it. But I wanted to make sure it had good bones. And I was very happy. I found a tech or an inspector. Mm-hmm. He came out and took a look at it and confirmed, and then found a few extra things. And I was actually able to get a couple more $1,000s knocked off the sale price on it. And we brought it home and gutted it and redid it. And it's been a great little camper. But the tech thing is really awesome. And how do people find, I keep saying tech, but I mean inspectors. Yeah. So a tech, though, will come in and help you fix different things depending kind of on your skill base, from some simple things to probably up to some really complicated things, because our campers vary from our vintage ones that I would imagine are fairly simple to ones now with more complex solar systems to motorhomes.
Yeah.
So
no, very true. So it really varies. I mean, the most common is typically electricity.
is it?
Right. It's all about voltage. It's always about chasing power. And it's on anything. So I get questions and calls for pop-ups for C class, A class, B class. And I have some limitations. I'm a mobile tech. And then, if it's too big, then send them off to a shop somewhere. But electricity is the big thing.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. So where can they find, like, if somebody's in Virginia and they need to find either an inspector or a tech, where's a good place for them to go?
It's actually, they have a great network. So if you went on the internet and searched, how do I find an RV inspector, or how do I find an RV tech, you'll be led to national locators for both inspectors and technicians. And there's different types of technicians: master techs, certified techs, registered techs. So you can choose based on the complexity of the issue you have, but you put your zip code in, and it will literally show you a map with pinpoints of the inspectors or techs that are in your area.
Very cool.
I get calls from folks all over the country to inspect units out here in California and Sacramento. I'm oftentimes the first set of eyes or nose in that potential rig.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Very cool. So what was it like going to the school? And how long did it last? So this isn't a short process.
It is not a short process.
Yeah.
So they have an online homeschool that's self-paced, right? And so it's often recommended for owners to just learn the basics, but to be able to troubleshoot and get yourself home if you're stuck. To go beyond that, the inspector training is 4 weeks in Texas at the school. And then I added on the component for the registered tech as well. So I headed out, took Route 66 to Texas and stayed there, like I said, during the height of COVID. And it was great. It was really wonderful. The environment is amazing. The learning is top notch. And frankly, I'm still friends with a number of folks from that class.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what was the division between men and women that were in the class? And did you feel any awkwardness? I hope not.
No,
but
not at all.
Being a woman, because I think that could be something that some women would be like, geez, is this something as a woman I would feel comfortable doing?
No, not at all. No craziness at all. But in the class for the inspection, there were 3 women, maybe, mostly men. And then in the tech class was mostly men. So of course we bonded. The 3 women were like fast friends. But no, it was actually a very healthy environment. It was a positive place. It was all about learning, and they tried to make it as much fun as possible. It was very interactive. So I really enjoyed it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Did you have any experience with this prior to it? I know you said you were in education, but did you have any mechanical type experience before you did this?
I'm mechanically declined in the sense that I know enough to get myself in trouble. I've tinkered on most things, but my biggest fear is electricity. And I've had some encounters in my life that really created tremendous fear. It was one of the reasons I went to get this training, was to continue to have the respect, but to understand what it can do and what it's supposed to do.
Cool.
Yeah. So that helps a lot.
Nice. So what's a normal day for a tech look like for you?
Normal day is usually they don't call when everything's great. Occasionally I'll get someone who'll call and say, I'm about to have my warranty is about to run out. Can you come and do an inspection and identify something that might be in trouble? But mostly it's, I can't get my 5th wheel off my truck. My tank sensors aren't working, right? So it's a lot of troubleshooting over the phone at first, right? Because if I can talk them through something simple. I had a guy call me 3 hours away, and it turned out that right at his kitchen sink, the technicians had installed his GFCI reset, and his belt buckle was continuously resetting his outlets, right? And it took us a while, but we did that, over the phone. So starts with a phone call, starts with a little troubleshooting. I'll go out, we'll walk around, try to figure out what it is. Typically it's power, right? So starting at the batteries and working from there. Start at the source. Yeah.
Interesting. So what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen?
So I'll tell you, very recently, this couple couldn't get their 5th wheel off their truck. So when they camped, they just camped with it hooked up. Got home. They had actually gone to YouTube University and found all the videos associated with their particular leveling system, and it still wasn't resetting. So when I went out there, starting with the power source, when I opened up the compartment where the batteries were boiling.
Oh,
Literally, you could hear it boiling.
Wow.
So I stepped back.
Because they can explode, right?
And it was very dangerous. And so did all the safety protocols, managed to get one of the batteries disconnected, but I have a temperature sensor. And so I put that onto the battery that was boiling. It was 147 degrees.
Wow. As what should it have been?
The battery above it was 60.
And that was okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one was okay.
Wow.
So that's probably there's other life safety things I run into, but that's the most recent kind of weirdest thing to hear a battery boiling.
Wow.
It makes you step back.
Yeah. That would definitely give me pause to do that. So, So what's the most common thing that you see electrical, like you said? And what's the fix then? Probably not something as simple as a blown fuse, or is it?
Actually, invariably, it's a fuse.
It's a fuse.
It's so often a fuse, an inline fuse, a fuse that's tripped. It is so often a fuse. Yeah.
Wow. So, what do you like about being an RV inspector and tech? And what do you dislike about it?
What I love is the people, right? Because if you're doing inspection, your client is the buyer. They're excited. They've done research. They're just about to make a purchase, and they're hoping you're going to just let them know that everything's okay. We can't recommend to buy it, but we give you the information that you need to make the decision. So the people it's wonderful. And on the tech side, folks are in a desperate situation, and when you help them fix it, and I teach during the fix, so that the next time it happens, they might understand how to do it.
Nice.
It's just very fulfilling.
That would be. Yeah, that would be very cool. I imagine the one thing that you would probably dislike is when someone calls you and says, I have this dream RV I want you to do inspection on, and you have to give them the bad news that maybe they should walk away.
So what I'll do is tell them the things I found, right? Without trying to apply any type of
bias.
Exactly. And so the hardest part is not answering that question. Should I walk away? That's the hardest part. And it's like, you know what? I'm giving you the information. This is working as it's designed. This is not working as it's designed. And you have to take that information and make that decision for yourself. The person inside of me, the educator, wants to go, walk away. No, just run. But I really can't do that, right? So from an integrity standpoint, that's really what we're there to do. But that is really, really hard.
I can imagine.
I think the other thing, which is more entertaining than anything else, is that seller who knows there's nothing wrong with their rig. And they stay as close as you and I are for the entire inspection, trying to figure out what I'm looking at. So those are hard.
I can imagine. Yeah. So we talked a little bit about the Big Red Schoolhouse, the NRVTIA down in Texas, but there are other ways that people can become certified as an inspector or as a technician. You and I are both on the the RVWA, which is the RV Women's Alliance, RVTIA, which is the RV Technical Institute. A lot of acronyms there. And that is through the branch that most major manufacturers belong to. And if you look on the side of your camper, there's a little sticker there that says this camper has been certified by the
RVIA.
And RVIA has this big push going on right now to get more women to be mobile techs. Because what the RV industry is realizing is that there's not enough techs in the dealerships. And a lot of people experience that and they get very frustrated, especially new RV owners. We just bought this RV. We've got some minor repairs that need to be, taken care of, but I can't get an appointment at my dealer for months. And then it sits there for another 2 months. And now the camping season's over. And so they've got a really big push. Let's get some more mobile techs out there that can do this warranty work or the minor work and stuff. And they really would love to get more women in this. It's a great opportunity to make, you could either do it full-time or a nice side income because there's always a need for it. And I'm excited about those classes. We just, I think, finished up one in Denver. We've got a few more that are coming up, definitely in Indiana at Elkhart. And then during September is the one at the Hershey RV show. And those are some great hands-on learning experiences. And you would come out as a level 1 certified RV tech.
Yep.
And then that also includes, I believe, an online version for level 2 certification. So,
and I did the 1 and the 2 both online.
Oh, awesome.
I did.
Great.
And so there are options to be able to do that so that it fits your own schedule. And then you do a proctored test to get your certification. So they really do try to cater to all opportunities to get the education. And it is very satisfying to be able to, even if it's just empowering yourself, to be able to have the knowledge to make sure that you get out of there and get home safe.
That is so true. That's so true. Most the gals here know that my Jeep broke down twice on its way out here to Camporee. So knowing what to look for on that and what was going on with it, it is really good. And know how to talk to the mechanic about the different things and how to make it an easier fix. So
one of the other things that's happened is, as a result, for the Academy, for instance, they have Facebook pages for the techs and for the inspectors. And so if we run into what we call a purple monkey or something we just can't figure out, we can post. And the community is very helpful and walk you through. When I started as an inspector, I actually used the locator to see who was in my area. And I happened to reach out to a fellow graduate who agreed to be my mentor. And we're fast friends, and we're still friends to this day. So it's a great community once you do that. Kind of like Girl Camper, right?
Yeah.
You guys traveled out here. It is a network. We stay in touch and help each other out. So you get the benefit of both worlds.
Yeah, that's a nice point. Thank you. That's very cool. I can't think of anything else. Can you you have anything to add that we maybe missed? I mean, I'm excited about this topic. I think it's obviously a passion of mine that I wanted to be on the women's tech committee.
The council, yeah.
Yeah, the council, to get more women techs out there. And I was excited to have you be a speaker here at Camporee. And you had some really great information. Do you have any tips that you would give? What are your 3 top tips that you would give an RV owner?
Walkabout. Accidents and stuff happens when you're in a hurry or you're not taking your time to follow your checklist. So when in doubt, walkabout. It's actually the primary thing. Understand power, know the basics, and if for some reason something's not working right, unplug, start again.
Yeah. And do you recommend that people have one of those power management systems?
Yeah.
The EMS?
EMS.
EMS. Yeah, I know Camco has a really nice one among other companies.
Yeah.
They're an investment, but so is your camper. So there's nothing worse than plugging in and then all of a sudden all your electronics have been fried because you were hooked up to a poor pedestal. So.
Yeah, it helps with high voltage and low voltage. So it's an investment, but so is your rig.
Yeah, definitely. So
yeah.
Well, great.
I appreciate the opportunity. It's been a lot of fun getting to know folks, even folks from out of California. Thanks for venturing to California.
You're welcome. How can folks find you if they want to get in touch with you for more information?
So again, in your area or when you're traveling, you can go to the locators,
which is just in general, like type in a Google search.
You could Google search if you can't remember the acronym. So for inspectors, it's nrvia.org, and for techs, it's RVTAA. And too many acronyms, right? So just, how do I find an RV tech? And it will pop up. How do I find an RV inspector? And it will pop up. They've done a great job with the search engines. And then you go and you put in your zip code wherever you are, and there should be a tech or an inspector nearby.
Well, one thing too, I've heard on some mobile techs is they're mobile. So, and I don't mean just in their area, but we spend our summers in the Black Hills where I am, and in the winter we go to Arizona.
Yes.
And that's pretty cool from a career standpoint, that they're not tied down trying to build up a clientele just in their area, that they're able to get out there and go, or they've partnered up with campgrounds too in the summer for different areas that that campground knows if they have someone that's there and has an issue that they can call Coach C and she'll come right over. And so,
and as a tech, we actually, because we're part of that network, if we go mobile, we move our pins.
Oh, right. Okay.
So,
on the map.
You'll see us move as well. And so you might be camping in somewhere in Texas and it's like, but she's usually in California. So we move as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a neat feature.
Yeah, it was really great.
Cool. Well, there you have it, guys. I mean, Coach C, she's awesome. Look up if you're looking at buying a new RV or buying a new to you RV.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that wasp to get off my camera. So there you have it. If you are in the market for a new RV, whether it's through a dealer or a private party, new, used, highly recommend that you consider bringing in an RV inspector to take a look at it, to give you the lowdown on it. If you have some breakdown somewhere, not even a breakdown, if you have just an issue that's happening at your house, go online, see if you can find a mobile tech in your area and have them come out and take a look at it. So I'm Lisa with Girl Camper, here with Coach C. If you like to get to today's, oh, damn it.
The only other thing would be education, right? If you're a new camper.
Everything what?
If you're new to camping or new to your RV, a lot of the technicians also do education.
Okay, yeah. So that's our episode for today. Thank you, Coach C, for being on here. Also, you know, if you are, God, just
you gotta shake it out.
Start drinking. So that's our episode for today. Thank you, Coach C, for being my guest today. Just want to say, if you are in the market for a new or used RV, whether it's from a dealer or a third party, I highly encourage you to consider bringing in a RV inspector to take a look at it. If you have some minor breakdown issues, minor mechanical issues, also go online, look for that mobile tech, who they oftentimes provide education too in their area. So they may be offering some free owner classes to go to, or slight fees to them, but check those out, see how they are. And if you liked today's episode, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And we will see you around the campfire.